What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. Blazers take a double overtime victory over the Brooklyn Nets, 148-144 at the Moda Center. Let's go over all the team stats. For the Nets, they shoot 49 of 103 for 48% from the field. They go 15 of 42 for 36% from three-point land. They make 31 of 44 free throw attempts for 71%. Of their 49 made baskets, they get 25 assists. They pull down 59 rebounds, 15 of those offensive. They get 3 steals, 4 blocks, and they have 16 turnovers. For the Blazers, they shoot 53 of 21 for 44% from the field. They go 14 of 45 for 31% from three-point land. They make 28 of 36 for 79% from the free throw line. Of their 53 made baskets, they get 35 assists, which I believe is a season high. They get 55 rebounds, 16 of those offensive. They get 9 steals. They have 5 blocks, and they have 3 turnovers. The individual stats for the Nets: D'Angelo Russell has an excellent game. He goes for 39 points on 16 of 34 shooting. He goes 3 of 14 from three-point land, 4 of 8 from the free throw line. He finished up with a -9. He pulled down 2 offensive rebounds, had 9 total. He got himself 8 assists, had, a game-high 6 turnovers, and got himself a steal. So excellent game from D'Angelo Russell. Carroll finished up with 18 points on 5 of 8 shooting. He goes 4 of 7 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He finished up with a +6. He pulled down 2 offensive rebounds, had 5 total. He got himself 2 turnovers. He had 2 turnovers and a steal. Joe Harris finished up with 13 points on 4 of 13 shooting. He goes 1 of 6 from 3, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Finished up with a -14. He pulled down 3 offensive rebounds, had 8 total. Got himself 3 assists, had 2 turnovers. Allen finished up with 10 points on 3 of 8 shooting. He went 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Finished up with a -7. He pulled down 3 offensive rebounds, had 8 total. He dished out 2 assists and had 2 turnovers. Nurkic finished up with 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting. He goes 1 of 3 from 3. Finished up with a +2. He pulled down 5 rebounds and got himself 1 block. For the bench, Spencer Dinwiddie finished up with 22 points on 6 of 15 shooting. He goes 3 of 7 from 3, 7 of 7 from the foul line. Finished up with a -10. He pulled down 2 rebounds, dished out 2 assists, and also had a turnover. Caris LeVert, he finished up with 16 points on 5 of 8 shooting. He went 1 of 2 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Finished up with a +9. He got 1 offensive rebound, had 3 total, dished out 7 assists, had a turnover and a steal. Jared Dudley finished up with 15 points on 6 of 8 shooting. He goes 2 of 3 from 3, 1 of 1 from the foul line. He got himself a -5. He pulled down 5 rebounds, had 3 assists, and got himself a block. Ed Davis finished up with 6 points on 2 of 2 shooting. He goes 2 of 3 from the foul line. Finished up with a +8. He pulled down 4 rebounds, had 14 total. 4 offensive rebounds, had 14 total. Got himself 2 turnovers and had a block. For the Blazers, Big Nurkic, and clearly his last game of the season with a gruesome leg injury, but we'll get into that later. He finished up with 32 points on 13 of 24 shooting. He goes 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Finished up with a +12. He pulled down 4 offensive rebounds, had 16 total. Dished out 5 assists, only had 1 turnover. Got himself 2 steals and 4 blocks. So excellent game from Nurk. But man, nasty leg injury that he had. Dame Lillard finished up with 31 points on 10 of 30 shooting. He goes 4 of 16 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. He finished up with a plus 13. He grabbed 3 offensive rebounds, had 6 total, had 12 assists, and got himself a steal, and had no turnovers. So excellent game from Dame. Mo Harkless finished up with 13 points on 5 of 13 shooting. He goes 2 of 5 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He finished up with a plus 12. He grabbed 3 offensive rebounds, had 8 total, dished out 3 assists, and had 2 steals. So excellent all-around game from Mo Harkless. Al-Farouq Aminu, he finished up with 6 points on 2 of 8 shooting. He went 0 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the foul line, finished up with a plus 2. He grabbed 7 rebounds, dished out 3 assists, and got a turnover. Jake Layman, he finished up the starting 5 with no points, shot only once, missed from 3. He finished up with a plus 0. He also dished out an assist, and he was the last one for the starting 5. Seth Curry finishes up once again, big time. He finished with 20 points on 6 of 13 shooting, goes 3 of 7 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He finished up with a -1. He pulled down 2 rebounds, had an assist, and got himself 2 steals. So excellent game from Seth Curry. And that steal towards the end of regulation on D'Angelo Russell was big time. Rodney Hood finished up with 18 points on 8 of 16 shooting. He goes 1 of 5 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He finished up with a plus 5. He grabbed 2 rebounds, dished out 3 assists, had a turnover, and got himself 2 steals as well. So excellent game, especially offensively, from Rodney Hood. Enes Kanter gets another double-double. He finished up with 12 points on 4 of 8 shooting. He goes 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the foul line. He finished up with a -6. He pulled down a team high and a game high 5 offensive rebounds. He had 10 total and dished out 3 assists. So excellent game from Enes Kanter. Zach Collins showed some life on the offensive end. He finished up with 12 points on 4 of 7 shooting. He goes 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 4 from the foul line. He finished up with a -5. He pulled down an offensive rebound, had 4 total, and dished out 2 assists. Evan Turner finished up with 2 points on 1 of 1 shooting. He finished up with a -12. He dished out 2 assists and got a block. And then Anthony Simons finishes out for the Blazers. He actually got his 2 points at the free throw line once Nurk went out and iced both of them. And they were actually big at the time. They were definitely needed as far as game notes go. Like I was saying, Big Nurkic goes down with a nasty lower left leg injury, very similar to the Paul George and Gordon Hayward injuries. So it's looking real crazy for the Blazers right now, especially at the center position. Probably gonna have to go with Enes Kanter, maybe even Myers Leonard to finish out the rest of the season. There's only 9 games left. Blazers do clinch playoffs with the win tonight. Also, CJ's supposed to miss the next 4 games on the road, according to Terry Stotts. So we'll see how that goes. And he also did say that CJ's progressing pretty well, so that's good to hear. Both teams have 7 guys in double figures tonight. Mo Harkless, another great all-around game. 13 points, hits 2 threes, gets 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Seth Curry with that big steal with I want to say 4 seconds left in the game on D'Angelo Russell. And you could just tell that D'Angelo was real tired at this game. And Curry took advantage of him, kind of going through the motions. And he ended up missing the first free throw, which could have probably sent this as a big win in regulation, but he ended up missing that first one. But he did cash the second to keep us tied at 120 to put the game into overtime. Hood, excellent offensive game tonight. Goes 18 points, shoots an efficient 8 of 16. He also got 2 rebounds, had 3 assists and 2 steals. And he hit a big 3 in the second overtime to help pretty much ice the game. So excellent game from Rodney Hood. Big Kanter, double-double. 12 points, 10 rebounds, game high 5 offensive rebounds, had 3 assists. So excellent game from Cantor. Zach Collins had a great offensive game as well. Shot efficiently, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Now he did miss 2 at the free throw line, but ended up not hurting us too much tonight. Dame Lillard, 31 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists, no turnovers, and a steal. So excellent game from Dame Lillard. I mean, he did shoot 30 times, made only 10, but he hit them in big spots. So excellent game from Dame. D'Angelo Russell, big game, 39 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He had them 6 turnovers, but he did get himself a steal. And you could just clearly tell that he was tired, especially going into the first overtime. He was tired, so they couldn't really rely on him because he pretty much gave them everything he had. Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench with 22 points, but Seth Curry pretty much matched him Glock for Glock tonight because he finished with 20 tonight. And I already talked about Nurkic's injury, looking more like Paul George and Gordon Hayward's injuries. So speedy recovery to Big Nurkic, man. Hopefully everything works out and he can come back as nimble as he was before, because he was having an excellent game, and just, you don't wish this type of injury on any player. I don't care what team he's on. Simons hits 2 big free throws in place of Nurkic in a hostile type of atmosphere. So big shouts out to Anthony Simons for hitting those 2 free throws. Big time. Blazers get their 46th win of the season, 29th home victory. As far as playoff goes, Thunder lose again. And right now they're sitting 3 games behind the Blazers. They're sitting in that 8th seed. They're tied with San Antonio as far as when in the loss column. Utah wins against the Suns tonight, and they stay 2 games behind the Blazers, and they are currently at the 5th seed. Blazers are a half game behind the Rockets, which they kept pace with since they won tonight. And then for the next 3 games, Blazers got the Bulls on Wednesday, Hawks Friday, and then those Pistons again on Saturday, and a back-to-back for Friday and Saturday. So it's looking like that Pistons game's gonna be tough, especially without Big Nurkic in there dealing with Andre Drummond, and he might kill us on the boards by himself. So definitely, I do look forward to that game just to see how the Blazers respond. The Blazers bigs respond to a guy like Andre Drummond. As far as OKC, I think both Russ and PG-13 are dealing with some shoulder injuries, because they were talking about that during the game a little bit, especially during halftime, that Russ has got, I think, a left shoulder injury, and then Paul George also has a shoulder injury. So it's looking like the OKC Thunder are limping into the playoffs, just kind of like how we are. It's crazy, but this is what happens in the league sometimes. Still pretty optimistic on us at least getting a playoff series this year, but as far as being able to get to the conference finals, I'm not so sure anymore, unless CJ comes back and produces like he was before he left, and we gonna need that from him. So I'm looking forward to what happens, but season is looking dimmer and dimmer every time now. So hopefully I'm wrong though. But man, losing Nurkic like that, big blow to the Blazers' playoff hopes, in my opinion. But we will see. I do expect at least one playoff victory this year, so we just still do need that home court advantage. So looking forward to what happens in these next 9 games that we got left. Pretty much alternate. Well, with this 4-game stretch that we have after that, we pretty much alternate home and away. So for the next, next 5, we pretty much alternate home and away. So, but we do got the Nuggets 2 times. So that's pretty much the only team that I'm really worried about, other than the Pistons right now. So should be able to lock up some some good wins. Should be able to get at least 50 this year. And that should be a pretty good accomplishment for Dame, especially with the way they've been playing this year. So hopefully everything works out. We get those at least 50. I'm saying that we need probably maybe 5 more games to get to 51. Yeah, I think 51 wins would be a good stopping point this year. So I don't really have much else to say. A little bit upset with what happened to Big Nurk, clearly. But other than that, it was a hell of a game, back and forth. The Nets were up 10 with like 4 minutes left, and the Blazers fought back and ended up taking this one in double overtime. So definitely a thrilling game to watch. And with that, this is your boy P Money. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to all my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I'm off this.